new hit of the week record. Our music jury, composed of Florence Sigfeld, Eddie Cantor, and Vincent Lopez, selects the outstanding dance hit of the hour for a hit of the week recording. This is the new hit of the week record.
Hello everyone. Am I well rested? Am I coherent? Do I know what I'm doing? These are just some questions that I won't answer tonight because I don't know. But I hope everyone's doing well. I am honestly kind of glad that... Okay, where the heck is... Yeah. Where the heck is it? I swear, one of these days... Is it just this? I don't know if that's... Go. Hey Seth, how are you doing tonight? Hope you're doing well, because I am very excited to get back to Chibi-Robo for several reasons. First of all, anyone who has minor contact with what VTubers get up to on Twitter knows that everything is on fire now for no good reason. I'm doing alright today, that is great to hear. And you know what? This game is just wholesome, and that is the mood. And also, it just means that I was doing well enough to stream, which is just personal goals. We're down. And oh, we can get that Chibi door up by the phone. Which is good, because right now we're largely just kind of filling time and doing sub-stories until we get enough money and happy points to... that sound redeem gives me so much joy. Because obvious reasons. Wait, how did this get set here? I mean, I'll take it, but... But at this point, we just have to... it's not start, it's X. We're just trying to find enough cash around the house, which... The logic of this is that if we use our own money, then the Sandersons won't be footing the bill for 10,000 gigawatts of power, which I don't even know how much money that would be because there's no baseline of comparison. So somehow all the money that we get and essentially steal from around the house pays for it instead, and it's better? Question mark? I don't know, they're trying, and that just... oh yeah, way too much money. Heck, this was what, 2005-ish this game came out? I don't really know. I didn't start paying attention until 2016 around. It could be whenever. But by today's standards, and definitely the standards when this game was made, it's too much money. Oh, I love the little chibi bot noise. So cute. I mean, it's more money than... Oh. Okay, that's pretty cool how it gets... You can kind of... You can figure out where, like... where high enough is for the ladders, because they'll get stuck on things, and you can just let them go up until they hit and still climb up. Ooh, 100. Nice. But no, this is just... I just love this game so much. And... I went off on a tangent or a rant last time about how there just isn't a game like this anymore. Well, not anymore, just at all. Its own sequels only did close enough. Ooh, Warrior Ladder. Yes. Never really got the same vibe as this one. And there wasn't exactly anything else with mass appeal, but... Like, this game... No, wait, there is a game kind of like this. It's... not really similar, but Pikmin. All 3 of the Pikmin games, and I guess 4 now, follow the same vibe of being a small person in a large human world. And, well, this game is a whole lot more wholesome than Pikmin. Because, you know, humanity isn't extinct, and I'm not picking through their garbage. Oh, 87. Top 100% special get. Sweet! New battery off the bat. I will take that. But God, Pikmin is such a vibe and a mood. Like, it's... Man, I have so many, like, games I want to stream, and I guess series too. Like, I want to do full series playthroughs of the games series that I have the entire, every game in them, or every major one, to say, this is what this game started as in, like, the 90s, and this is what they rebooted it as in the 2020. But also, like, similarly vibed games, because I feel like Pikmin and several others have this weird feeling of the world is over, or at least the world as humanity knows it is gone dead. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's hauntingly beautiful. Because, like, there's... Finally get an ad for a gamer expansion to a game I already own. That is... I know the game ads are just targeted like, hey, you might like this. And what more surefire way to check that than giving you something that you definitely like because you already own it. Ooh, do I have... Yes, cookie crumbs. Enjoy, fish! No, I feel that Pikmin definitely has that vibe of there was an apocalypse. It's like a Ghibli apocalypse. Like, if you ever seen Castle in the Sky, there's this scene about a quarter of the way into the movie. Oh my, how thoughtful of you. Should have married you instead of that slob. Where you get this panning shot of the landscape, and there's a giant impact crater in the middle of it. Which leads to the question, why? Which is answered subtly later, but it's definitely a post-apocalyptic setting, but it's not one that anyone really knows or cares. Like, it's a world that's moved on from the end, which Pikmin definitely classifies as, because the first one you have, if I remember right, it's been a while since I played the first game, like an abandoned park. The second one had a parking lot in the middle of winter. Destroyed bathroom that was definitely part of a house but got reclaimed by nature. It's also shares a vibe with, like, Nier. Yeah, it's a really cozy sort of vibe that I don't really know how to describe, because it should be very sad, but... Oh, I just destroyed more of their house. Oh, what do you think this is? Their crown molding. We just broke into a bulk. Oh, this reminds me of something else. But anyway, one thought at a time. It should be a very sad vibe, but it's more of this feeling of, no, the world's moved on from whatever rotten or ugly things were here before. And nobody's really living in the shadow. The way I like to think about it is nobody alive anymore remembers the apocalypse. It's just something that happened and the world moved on. I guess the Nier series does this too. Because that is, I have some problems with like the level of, I feel, nihilism that is present in those games, and I find it kind of annoying. But at the core of it, the Nier series is a weird continuity, because it started with Drakengard, which was like a fantasy game of everyone was horrible and sad all the time, blah blah blah, typical 1,000-foot view of Yoko Taro stuff. And then they have one joke ending where the hero and his dragon gets transported to real-world Tokyo and get shot down by the Japanese military. And that's canon to the Nier universe. Like, Nier Replicant starts in the aftermath of that. And then it goes 10,000 years later, I'll save ya, to the point where it's a sci-fi story that's gone on for so long it wrapped back around to fantasy. And then Nier Automata happens so much further after that point that it's wrapped back around to sci-fi. Which, that's the thing, I have problems with, like, story elements, but... Oh, what's up with you? But as far as the world building and gameplay, the game is so up my alley. So many cool little things. Silence, fool! An ill wind blows tonight. Has something happened to Mr. and Mrs. Sanderson? Drake Redcrest also heard Jenny weep large, bitter tears. Curse you, sadness! I will continue my patrol upstairs! It's hard not to love the characters in this game. The sheer amount of ham and cheese that drip passively off of Drake Redcrest. Ooh. We have a ladder. And a cheeky door. But like... Yeah, that's why I find it so baffling that none of these games followed in the footsteps of this, because the characters are so amazing, and everything else just kind of made it kind of weird. Good characters can sell a game. You'd love to see it. But yeah, it's that kind of vibe, and I'm so glad that I have to watch the Pikmin 4 reveal trailer still, because I did watch that direct that it was announced in, but by the time I got home and was able to catch it, I missed... Oh. No, I think the problem is I don't think I can get the Chibi ladder high enough to get upstairs. Although maybe. Hey, Gaben, how are you doing? Oh, wait, I can. I can get to the upstairs. I thought you needed the Chibi warp just in general. Good. Oh, that's good to hear. Glad you're doing well. I am doing surprisingly good. Wait, I think if I climb this, I can hover over to the top of that table and then get past the missing step and climb all the way. Which would be great. There's some good garbage up here. And by that I mean literal, actual garbage. Which is worth a lot. Okay, the bigger question is, will my battery last? Yeah, today was a surprisingly good day. I was focused, productive, and it wasn't that annoying. Which is the ideal. Holy. I don't think I've ever noticed that this is possible before. Oh, probably. Probably have, but I don't really remember it. Because this is... Getting to the second floor is so annoying. Oh no! Oh no! I'm dying! Ah! Come on! Made it! Alright, Jenny. I see you. I hear you. But right now I have to take care of something quick. Fully recharged. Oh, another Chibi door. Yeah. I'd love to play through, like, a series of games that kind of have that same vibe to them. I'd have to find Pikmin 1 because, admittingly, one of the things that annoys me the most about games is strict time limits. Like, oh yeah, if you don't complete the game and every little secret we put inside of it, by this point, by the time this in-game timer reaches 0, you just fail. You have to start a new save. There's no more game after this point. And unfortunately, Pikmin 1 has a 30-day timer. Which at the time, like, that was one of the games I rented when I was really young. And you'd think, okay, I can get, wow, a second cleaning bonus. I feel like they're kind of random. I mean, I'm not complaining because I will take all the bonuses I can get. But, the problem is that you have 30 days to collect 30 of your missing spaceship parts. 136, 137. Oh, this isn't good. Let's just... Hello there, Jenny. Riba... Oh. You got anything to say? Hello, Chibi. You came all the way up here because you heard Jenny crying, right? Ah! Games specifically requested that you don't tap on Drat Class. Ah! But how are you doing tonight? Hope you're doing well. Oh, so the show just gave me night. Happy points. And the 50 bucks. I'll take that. It says she's upset because Mom and Dad aren't getting along. Yeah, no problem. Glad to see you around. Won't let Dad sleep in their bedroom. I'm gonna go into Mom's room, but can't move since I'm stuffed animal. Oh, Jenny, if you only knew. Mom locks the door at night, but she leaves the door open all day. You doing alright? Oh, that's good to hear. I'm doing good. Glad to be streaming, and very glad to be streaming this very chill game. Am I winning? That's hard to say. Because this is a game that you can just keep playing for essentially as long as you want. Like, there's very loose objectives. Technically, the only thing you have to do is just clean and collect happy points, but there's a ton of smaller objectives. Like, every character in this game has an arc, has like a story arc. There's a bunch of sub-stories, and yeah, there's like the main story of figuring out the human character's issues and helping them through it, because this sweet, chill, happy little game involves, yeah, the chill, happy game where the family is broken and you have to stop a divorce from happening. You would definitely figure that out from just the style of the game. As well as thank you for the yeet. And we haven't even contacted the aliens yet. That's a whole nother thing. There's aliens in this game, and by the time you get to them, it's honestly not really that surprising. Alright, before I die horribly due to lack of battery, let's cash in. Right. I probably should, because if I do die horribly, then I lose money when I get back to the Chibi house, and I have 2 pulls on the Giga Charger. Yeah, aliens. It's a whole thing. We also travel through time later in the game. But don't worry about it. Oh yeah, and there's also Mr. Prong. Don't ask about Mr. Prong. I don't know what the hell is up with Mr. Prong. The amount of weird... I swear after a certain point that this game... Oh, shoot. I just realized that I've really wanted to play a shooter for a while, just because I really love those games, and I was reminded that Uncharted aggressively exists, and I would love to play that on stream. But this game just fits the vibe so well that I kind of have to play Katamari Damacy afterwards. Because they have the same vibe of, we're just throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks, and whatever doesn't is getting added into the game. Hello, Space Hunter Robo. Look at that. That towering castle. I won't worry about as much as... Delightful damsel. She gazes down at me with lost eyes. Can tell her heart aches for justice. Listen! Space Hunter Code Part 4. Love justice with a burning passion. Drake Redcrest must speak to her. She needs my attention. You need a cold shower is what you need. Or a minor obstacle stands in my way. How am I supposed to get up there? Aha! The one called Mort will know what to do. I'm at a loss, but the destiny of Space Hunter is to find the truth. Alright, you have anything else to say? Blasting curses, I can't get to that castle. The key to true justice is knowing when to surrender. What am I doing here anyway? If you recall, please tell me, Space Hunter. Mood. I have definitely walked into a room and realized I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. Mr. Prong is fantastic, just, the level of Eldritch that other Eldritch beings are at a loss for what the hell is going on. Aw, cute. Don't worry about it as much as I like. Well, it's your prerogative, but, I don't think it'll help much. Mr. Prong, the aliens, and time travel will all happen as much as they please, and all we really have to do is roll with it. Like, aggressively. Okay, the more I play this game, the more I'm torn on this one fact, and I feel like there might be multiple opinions, but personally, I can't choose which would be the better option. A Chibi-Robo style cleaning robot, or what we have now, the Roomba style. Because on one hand, Roombas are adorable, and I absolutely love those little guys. But on the other hand, the real problem is that and at the risk of going back down this rant again, the problem is that AI research has been squandered by tech bros to be set on stupid things that people do not need, like self-driving cars and pyramid schemes. Whereas we really should be figuring out a... I suppose on some level we are already. Oh, there we go. Puzzle solved. We should be figuring out, like, robotics, which I think are much more useful. Because, yeah, in order to figure out things on a smaller scale, you first need to figure them out on a larger one. Well, I guess I'm aggressively up here now. Can't get back. Nope. And really just... It would be nice to have, like, cleaning and assistance robotics for around the house that were smart enough not to bonk into walls. But the problem is there is not a company that exists that I trust to put a robot smart enough to use tools in my home that I would not just immediately think, okay, you now know the layout of my home, all my things, what the contents of what all my things are, where they are, and are using that to sell me stuff. Because companies are scum. Oh god, there's so much garbage under here. And Egyptian hieroglyphics. What section of IKEA did you get this bed? But... Okay. There is one lesson that I've learned multiple times and keep forgetting, which is, namely, caffeine doesn't work. Because I pounded an energy drink the moment I got home today because I'm like, I needed it last time, I probably need it this time. So, and last time, it just stayed in my system way too long. So I'm like, okay, I'll give some more lead time. Now I'm just passively buzzing. Nope. God, I love him. I love him even more. Didn't I scare you? I need energy in my job. 300 milligrams of caffeine after lunch. Yes. Yeah. I did pop a caffeine pill I had on my desk just in case it helped, which is probably more of that. Like, the crash of that is not alleviated by the chemicals of the latter one. Oh, you're being nice. 。 . 。 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 。 . 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 。 。 。 . 。
「
Aww. 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 .
」
buddy. Leave me alone. I feel for Mort so badly. He's just... he's just a depressed little friend. Oh yeah, and this is part of why the later stuff just shouldn't really faze you. Oh. Welcome in, Bread. Good. Thank you for lurking. Appreciate it, and good to see you around. Hope you have a nice lurk. We're just starting the long process of fixing a love triangle between a depressed mummy and a Princess Peach stand-in. Because why not? I love this game. Oh yeah. Handbox. Oh yeah, we just got one. It's one of those games, and this is why I want to play Katamari Damacy after it. Because there's just so much stuff that happens that it stops becoming notable. And this is also part of the reason, like, if you follow me on Twitter, which I actually kind of don't suggest because Twitter's been on fire for infuriatingly dumb reasons. But if you are braving the hellscape, afterwards I love the cute noise. Oh, perfect. After every stream, I try to write up a quick synopsis of what we did in-game. Procrastinated so hard I have to finish my online class by next week, but I've only done 35... Ew. Yeah, get on that. That is, that's going to be rough, and I wish you the best of luck. I remember online classes. Both took one over the summer, once way back in high school, and during peak COVID in college. Well, it's more on flames than usual. Twitter is usually like a baseline of on fire, but you can, like... It's like walking through a campground. Like, there are fires, but you can avoid them, and sometimes it's fun to point at them and laugh. Now it's like a fireworks factory, and somebody dropped a cigarette in an oil spill. Well, but I don't want to talk about that. I don't know. I tried to not to bring it up, but it's just fucking everywhere. Battery, 2,000 kilowatts. Yes, we'll charge it. And just 1,000. 1,000 kilowatts, that is... That might be a gigawatt of energy. I mean, it's certainly a lot. That's 1,000... It's 100,000 watts. More or less. Yeah, no, I remember it being so freaking rough. Get that. Those. More flowers. And... Right, I forgot that I... Charge chip, range chip, I don't know. So you're gonna play some Pac-Man? Not wrong. That is what... God, those flowers do look like it. Oh, amazing. Oh, there's a frog ring up there. May as well, that's easy happy points. But online classes just... They work for some people, and they worked okay for me, but not really. There were so many people who I knew during college that, like, dropped a GPA point, or just generally it was just pain and suffering, and so many classes started saying, like, okay, it's just pass and fail, because this is at a level that I know it's not the student's fault. I hate them so much. So I wish you the best of luck, and dang. I encourage you to get on it, just because the more time you have to capitalize, the... What? Okay, I'm sorry, little buddy. Let's get it down a bit more. Here. Yeah. Okay, here? Nope. Maybe that's just full extension. Oh. Okay, we cannot get up there. Interesting. Wait. Let me check my inventory. Okay, good. I know I still have the jar of gunpowder, but I no longer have the pirate ship in my head. And this is why we have a quote bot. Because of things like this. And that's also why, which I rambled off the point, but this is why I do those end of stream summaries. Because these old games, especially the more niche ones, and the like unofficial term is widget series, or WAM, which widget is weird Japanese thing, WAM is weird humorous American thing. Or no, what? They're just... Because I noticed it first when I was doing the summaries for Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, like, well, we made a deal with the Mafia, and now we're on a blimp to the WWE that's above the cloud layer. We'll update you if we find the next legendary treasure. But they're just delightfully silly. And, like with this one, we have a jar of gunpowder in our head for some reason, which I thought maybe we still had an entire pirate ship up there. And there's just so much charm. Which I kind of wish, and I know why, like, PlayStation and Xbox and PC don't really go for many of these games, because you're not really limited by hardware anymore. Because this was a limitation set on... Ooh, jungle training! Yes! I love jungle training! Hurrah! Like, this is a limit set on what the console's graphics could do, which now you can do essentially photorealistic. Like, if you've seen Final Fantasy VII Remake, that's some of the most realistic. It's the only reason it's not full realism, or I suppose Atomic Heart maybe was closer in some regards, but they can essentially do full everything. Okay, don't shoot the animals, shoot the enemy soldiers. And then parachute down to the drop point. Free Rangers, you're hard-boiled! Go, go, go! You want me? No, I might have to Sarge is right, I'm slower than him. I am a slack bot. Ah, keep it up. Ah! I might have to restart this for multiple reasons. So, like, that's why I was so happy with Hi-Fi Rush, because it really embraced how stylized you can make a game. And this level of weird, quirky charm. Which I miss. The GameCube had so many of these, like, just cute little things. Yeah, no, I have to bail. I'm sorry, Sarge. I'm not gonna make it. I'm just sad that I've let Sarge down. Because trust me, I let him down. Failed him. Jungle, drive a man crazy. Oh. We'll come. Can you just step on here and... now. I'm sorry. Don't have what it takes. Oh, sweet. Scrap. Yeah, this game has a combat system. For some reason. And somehow it feels good. Like, I've played games with a lot worse feeling combat. The other thing is that it is technically a tacked on feature that doesn't actually feel that tacked on. It's as simple as it needs to be. Alright. Now to the important thing of the day. Planting flowers. I guess that's the charm of this game. It just has so many things that it doesn't surprise you're not walking the enemy with a cord turret for combat. Oh, they did that in Ziplash for some reason. Why? I don't know. They certainly did it. Hey, sir. Honestly, the Chibi Blaster, besides being used, it's one of those things I love that, yes, it functions as a weapon, but its primary use in the game is puzzles to do other things in. And it just feels better, you know? Like, yeah, we could have this thing be... we could have some deep, detailed combat system. Okay, I don't actually know if I have to water these things, but I try to. Because why not? I assume I do. I have to at least get it close. Like, this entire game is really built around versatile mechanics. Nope, air buff. That, yes, you have these things that can be done for one thing, but I can't really remember if... I don't think any single item in the entire game has just one use. Jenny's dad, Jenny, and Tao are such slobs. They have garbage and stains everywhere. love it when you help out. It saves me a lot of trouble. Make sure to give Telly your moolah bonus. Oh. I just had a theory. I just had a theory that makes a lot of sense. So at the beginning of the game where Chibi-Robo is given... there we go. To Jenny as a birthday present. And, yeah, Mrs. Sanderson gets mad at Mr. Sanderson for spending money they don't have on something silly. But just with that line, and it's a weird thing. I've read this all... I've played this game so many times. And I've read this all, but saying, like, reading the words out loud, and that's partly of... That's why I've really been enjoying streaming these. I've had to engage with these games in a different way, and I've realized things like this. I think Mr. Sanderson intentionally bought Chibi-Robo as something that his entire family would benefit from. That Chibi-Robo is designed to make people happy, which Jenny is, as we saw earlier, with her upstairs crying in front of her parents' bedroom door every night. It's something to keep Jenny... to make Jenny happy and give her a friend, and on some level give her the support that her parents' constant fighting aren't really able to. But also it's kind of an apology to his wife, because he knows that the house is a mess and how much that's stressing her out and how much pressure that's putting on her. So, where was that Chibi door? Over there. So in order to help alleviate that to a bit, he gets a cleaning robot. It's very much a gift that, even though it's interpreted as, oh, you just wanted this stupid little thing and you wasted our money, it's very much something that on some level addresses the needs of the entire family. Ooh, dog bone. Because Jenny gets some emotional support and someone to talk to and essentially vent that isn't someone that's causing her stress. Mrs. Sanderson is able to get a good degree of help with the housework, which you can see she immensely appreciates, even if she's too mad at Mr. Sanderson to admit that, yeah, this was a good purchase, this was an extremely helpful thing for quality of life. And at the end of it, it's strongly implied that Mr. Sanderson had a hand in the design and construction of Chibi-Robo. That he is a talented engineer, roboticist, an engineer, electrical engineer, I believe. Wasn't responsible for the whole thing, but... Oops. But definitely had a hand in its design. So they all get something out of it. But largely Jenny and his wife get more than he does, which I think is really sweet. Okay, hang on. I need a moment to set an alarm for after stream to remind me to make a channel in the Discord for me to put all my theories in. So just a second, because I make a lot of wild theories, and I would like to document them, and also encourage people to share theirs, because there's a lot of things I probably haven't thought of. I'll make it for like 10, 15. Because that was one thing. I remember I was watching a friend friends in another server. I was watching, first time I've ever seen, Princess Mononoke, that Ghibli movie. And I realized that there was wildly different interpretations between everyone in the watching the movie. Aww. Ribbit, maybe? Aww, so cute. See? We're making her so happy. But I think there was... Ooh, do I have a frog ring? Yes, I have 3. Well, there's like 3 different interpretations. Yeah, I know, this game is so adorable! It actually is probably one of the best pieces of media that... For, like, talking about... Hey, Mecca! How are you doing? Oops, 6 more. Hope you're doing good. We just, fucking... hang on, I can only focus on one thing. But yeah, everyone go check out Mecca. He's a good friend, and... Yeah. For the people who I know who are kind of taking a bit of a, like, hiatus, or due to extremely understandable IRL reasons, aren't able to stream constantly, I never know how to say it, but he's a pretty fun streamer, and if you can catch him while he's able, it's always a good time. Yeah, no problem. But yeah, we're just talking game theories and how... Because I had a theory that at the beginning, just to recap for the quick version, beginning of the game, you're bought as a birthday present for Jenny, and I kind of realized... Oh shoot, I want to keep this going first. That you kind of fit a need for the entire family. Like, you help clean for the overworked mother, you give emotional support to Jenny, and it can kind of be read... Actually, the more I think about it, it can definitely be read as the dad's apology for fighting and giving Jenny so much stress and being kind of unhelpful to his wife. I'll clean those up and do the jungle. No, we can do the jungle. No, I think it'll cut out in the middle. The timer goes regardless. But anyway, first time I saw Princess Mononoke, I was watching it in a Discord call with friends, and we all had a different opinion of Lady Orochi. Like, some were convinced, like, no, she is the main antagonist of this, and is a very well-written villain. I'm like, no, I think at the very least she has flaws, but like, my opinion was she's flawed, but is no worse. Dang it, didn't quite get all of them. But is no worse than any other character in the movie. That she has a focus and is up against them, up against, like, the forces of nature, but is no worse, and in the context of society, at least at the time period the movie is set in, it's actually pretty good, and can be read as heroic in one context, but set against... Oh, thank you for lurking. But set against the other group. And other people just said, no, she's flat out a manipulative villain that's taking advantage of people. And I realized that all three main opinions, flawed but heroic, neutral, and villainous, they're completely valid, but also highly influenced by our own personal, like, where we come from through... Oh, sweet foil warp. This makes it so much easier. But it was all based off of our own personal experiences and how we read that type of character. Which is why it's super interesting to discuss media. Because there's some things I just don't think about, because the way I view... Like, the way I view things... it's bias. And, ooh, living room bridge and kitchen bridge. Yeah, I'm actually going to get timer 15 now. There's plenty of stuff to do. GB battery. Okay, so we got all the chips and all that. I think we just save up to charge the Giga battery. Wait. Yeah. And I would like to act... I feel so bad about this because I make the Discord, and I am so happy with when people show up for it, but the sad truth is I am the type of person who has gone a week without saying a word because I'm just naturally quiet. Like, streaming is a thing that makes me talk. It is not a product of me naturally having a lot to say. This started as, let me get 3 hours of the week to play video games without feeling the guilt of I should be doing something else. And as well as force me to talk more and work on my improv skill and being able to carry a conversation, which has worked really well. Oh. Ah. But the consequence of that is I don't really do much else outside of that. Let's see what happens if I climb up here. Because there's stuff that I need in the master bedroom. So I'd like to use it more, I'm not really sure what to do with it. Because for, like, random thoughts, I normally put... Hello? What's all the racket out here? I told you to keep quiet! Oh, it's just you, Chiba. Sorry, I thought you were Jenny's father. This is not a happy, healthy home. Balancing our checkbook right now. I need to be alone for a while, okay? Chibi-Robo got yelled at. Yeah, sometimes it's hard for me to find something to talk about if nothing's going on in the game I'm currently streaming. Yeah, I feel that. That's another thing. I feel like most of what I do is just go off on tangents and I want to be up here and talk about dang it, like whatever comes to mind. That's why I talk about like game design and stuff like that. How did that not make it? Curses. It's just, if there's nothing, and that's why I feel the last stream this week didn't really go off so well, because there wasn't really all that much off the top of my head to talk about, like of interesting topics of conversation. So I just really, real fast, Princess Mononoke, it's good art. Good art is up for yeah, exactly. That actually is my point in a nutshell. Expressed a whole lot better. It's great art that that a lot of different people were able to interpret and meant something different to everyone, which is super cool that there's not one way to think and look about things, which is, I guess, why I like to talk about interpretations in game design, because like I can see, oh, by the way this game is using these mechanics or this art, I can see that it's trying to make you take this approach. But by interpretation, a lot of people will do things like this thing, or stick with mechanics that they know. Did I space it correctly? I don't like it. There and here. Spacing is important when planting flowers. Ooh, there's no point in planting that. Let's put it away. That's like the fun thing of movies and, well, media in general. That there's so many ways to interpret it. But yeah, no, that's just something I love about it all. There we go. And a little bit of water. Look, I like gardening mechanics and being able to grow things in games. I don't know why, it's just fun. But, yeah. And I just really like talking about it. That's... oh, amazing. Nectar flower. And there we go. A little bit of previous knowledge to help this game go on. That certain things need to be done. And it'll be faster if you start them early. Yeah. So my day was pretty good. I actually wasn't, oh, guess we're saving. Pretty productive and got things done. It was nice. Felt focused and, yeah. Amazing. That, and I have an excuse to work from home tomorrow, which is nice, because you know what? Unfortunately for work, I have to shift into a human disguise, which is tiring. And it's just so much better and easier if I can do work from home, because I can stay as a bread roll all day. Let's see what's up with Morton. How you doing, buddy? I'm not even surprised that such a raw line is in here. Safety is an illusion, but my shoebox under the bed makes me feel safe, day or night. What's that? I forgot. Let me introduce myself. I am Mort. Do we know the whereabouts of the red shoe? Yeah. Do I? Your lies saddened me. Will you listen to my story? Oh, I guess anyway. It's about the other night. Yeah. But it's nice to have, like, some days are harder than others, but it's nice to have just generally days that are better than the last. Like, that's all you can hope for. No, stop, you'll break it. Nope. Dang, pinpoint landing. Oh yeah, the teddy bear is a jerk. That is what transpired. Lovely Princess Pittance hasn't left her castle since then. The barefoot causes her terrible embarrassment, I'm sure. Worried about her. You find the red shoe. Please let me know. Sheer amount of faction in this game. Amazing. And by faction, I use that very loosely because it's just well written. Every room has its own. Oh, there's some money back there. Has its own set of characters that, aside from like Drake Redcrest and Sophie, stay within their room. See, I think if I sit here long enough. First of all, the timer doesn't drained down. And yeah, Telly comes by. He shouldn't be slacking off. So get back in there, champ. Let's go! Thanks for the encouragement, bud. Okay, I did get the shield. Then run that back to normal. Like, every room has its own set of very lovingly made characters. Foyer has this free range. Jenny's room has Mort, Princess Pit, and Sophie. Jenny's teddy bear. No, son. Jenny's teddy bear. Oh, can't go into the castle because my body won't fit. Another one of life's little disappointments. Put a flight of stairs in front of the castle. Go ahead and use it. Now, we ascend. Then the basement has Captain Plankbeard and Great Peekbow. Real ray of sunshine, Mort is. Look, he's doing his best. The man has his own shoebox in a pretty good location, but he's working through his own things. He still cares for others a bit, which is nice. Man's trying. I swear, this game was concocted as in an effort to like help kids or talk about very heavy things to a very young audience. Because this game was so cute that I know, because that's when I got it, its primary market was younger players. And yet it talks about, and yet it involves divorce, depression, mentions death several times with the robots. It's so weird. This is where you insert a AA battery. There we go. But it does it like surprisingly well. It gives examples and it's so charming. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, the bigger question is, will I have the energy to climb up here? Because oddly enough, the game has like a couple. I don't know whether to call them dungeons or if they're closer to obstacle courses. Because there's several sections where you have to navigate a complex series of tasks and platforming in order to get something. Like in this case, we have to get up here to return the shoe. In the basement, there was a whole course for the Giga Charger. This is where you insert a D battery. I do not have a D battery. And there's several sort of optional ones in like the kitchen and living room. I'd say the backyard is probably the most legitimate dungeon for the most difficulty that it introduces, because there are no plugs out there. You have to hightail it to the living room and pray. Yeah, several places that you have to navigate on limited battery power. Which is pretty fun. Ah, dang it. I suppose Gauntlet's the more appropriate word for it. Because it's... Well, everything's a timed mission, essentially, in this game with the battery mechanics. It's always draining. Unless you're sitting down on one of those, like, stumps or knobs that you found earlier, it's always just tick, tick, ticking. That's up there. Excuse me while I go into Chibi Metroid mode. Yep. That ain't it seems. And you have to navigate these areas before it runs out. Well, it also throws challenges like having to chibi-copter, shoot things, climb, and pull drawers that will drain your battery whether you like it or not. Aha! Here we go. Oh. Yeah, and the sound design is... Oh, that is another thing that is just so good. You just astound me. Goal is within your reach. Go to the lovely Princess Pit and deliver her red shoe. Just... Again, I keep on bringing up Hi-Fi Rush because that's... Oh, sort of C battery. Nope, I got a D battery. It just makes... It just says... It's such a good job of making you feel like a small little dude. Good sound design can... Sound design is so much more important than people realize it. That it is. Because the one story that I always point to... I don't remember if it's a Modern Warfare title or, like, a classic Doom. It's Modern Warfare. I remember that much. But it's kind of a gory example to bring up for how good this game does it. But there's a problem with playtesting that there's one shotgun that the playtesters said this doesn't feel powerful enough. Like, it doesn't do enough damage, it needs to have more power behind it. It's... For what a shotgun should be, this doesn't statistically do enough. Like, their complaints were all of how this weapon was weak and wasn't what they expected for a shotgun. What the team did in response to those criticisms was go back, they boosted the bass a bit, they made it louder and deeper, but did not change any stats at all. All they did was tweak how it sounded. And players came back and said, "Oh, sweet, you heard our complaints and fixed it. Thank you so much." And just that level of sound design to make it feel a little bit more powerful was enough for the players demanding statistical tweaks to the weapon to be happy. And the more you look on it, there's something that I got kind of stuck in my head pretty early on through college, through I think a film class, because I do love a good media analysis in any form is so much fun. But it was just that it kind of got impressed to me how much how much media design is essentially an illusion. Oh, hello there. How are you? Oh, my red shoe. Thank you. Thank you. Now I can go outside again. Hell yeah. Oh, and Mort gave me some. I love that he's just so happy for her that he gave me some points. Mort's really sweet. Let me introduce myself. I'm Princess Pitts. I don't know who you are, but you have my undying gratitude. I'd already given up. I'd resigned myself to spending the rest of my life in the castle. I mean, walking outside without my shoe? Please. Oh god, she's a valley girl. I don't know how I feel about this. Anyway, thank you very much. This is too much trouble. Would you be so kind to tell me your name? Chibi-Robo. This is Chibi-Robo. And my name is... the famous Chibi-Robo? Telly. Oh. Or Telly. Excuse me for asking this, but you wouldn't happen to be the one who's been bringing me flowers. Nah. I just started planting them, right? Last night. I see, then who could it be? Sweet damsel! Ah, you, the chicken. Oh, Drake Redcrest. Hello. Can I help you? Ellie gets abused so much in this game, and I feel a little bit bad. Found a flower in the backyard that is almost as beautiful as you. This is a special present from Drake Redcrest. For you. Oh, poor Mort. Actually, poor us for having to watch this. Wait for us to leave Drake. Drake Redcrest. Are you perhaps the one who's been bringing me flowers? Those filthy things? I think not. Oh, I see. But I like these filthy flowers. Anyway, thank you. Perhaps... justice demands filthy flowers? Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, I think Mort got a little bit of appreciation in the end. Oh, Prince Pitts, if you'll excuse me. Chibi-Robo. Please come and visit me again. Oh yeah, back to what I was saying before. Oh, give me it. 2. Kind of worth it. Better than nothing. What I was saying before is that a lot of media is an illusion. Because first of all, the whole basis of any moving anything... Yep, I guess Mort's just really not up to it tonight. Is that for the human eye to see movement, you have to flip through still images at a rate of 24 frames every second. So long as it's at or above that point, people will see whatever you're flipping through as if it's moving. Which, if you're curious about how that looks like, at like the very basis, search up A Trip to the Moon. That was not the first movie ever made, but the first, I'd almost call it a film. It was the first instance of people playing around with special effects, scripted story. It's like, I think, 10, 20 minutes, and because it is so far, it's over 100 years old. It's free on YouTube, and you can just search it up and find it. It's actually really interesting, because you can tell they're having a lot of fun with what are we able to do with this. Oh, dang, Jenny has a chibi door in her bed. These things either aren't real, or nobody really notices them. Or it's like something that the family, for fun. I could see Mr. Sanderson, like, installing these around as little hidey hole things and whatever. Oh, they're weird. I don't know what to make of them. Actually, there's something that's so weird and so you just get used to them. I don't know if there's anything to be made of them. But yeah, like, every moving image is dependent on the illusion of movement from 24 frames. Anything live action is set on a sound stage or highly controlled location for good reason. And there's even this thing I've heard referred to as the coconut effect, where the easiest way to sum it up is with the Discworld quote: things that try to look like things look more like the thing than the actual thing. Which essentially means that it's the effect got its name from Monty Python, The Holy Grail, where... Actually, no, it's older than that. It's just directly referred to in that movie. But a lot of works would use two coconuts banging against each other, like stage plays and the like, to make the sound of horse hooves running. To the point that people were more familiar... Oh, gotta head out, unfortunately. Oh, thank you so much for coming by, and I hope you have a good rest of your day, night, or whatever. Thank you so much for stopping by. But yeah, the problem with that is that with everyone being used to the sound of, like, things banging together in order to make the sound of horses running, that's what they are used to, despite that only really being what they sound like in very specific situations, and even then, only sort of. Like, horse hooves on a paved road. And that's just sound design and people expecting... There we go. Ooh, 3,000. Expecting something to be what they're used to through media. Because, again, it sounds better or is more recognizable as what they're trying to convey if they don't stick to reality. And then you have animation, animation and special effects, which between both of those are just designed to be tricky. Because I know, actually from VTubing, a good amount of things that I had to think about that you don't really think about unless you're an artist, or at least I don't. But, like, when making a model, making a 2D image not design-oriented, so it's an amazing process. I've said several times that... Oh, sweet! More spiders! But artists are basically magicians. You tell them what you want, or they get an idea, they wave a stick around, they mutter strange things like posing, foreshortening, color theory, and all that, do a whole lot of cursing, and then boom, you have an anime character. But the thing with VTuber design is that you have to draw... Like, I've heard that the easiest way to prep a VTuber to have new outfits is to essentially draw them naked first, or at least in their underwear, so later artists can just draw the clothes on top of them. Oh, dang it. Timer 15 isn't even long enough for all I want to do. Because you essentially have to, when you're drawing regular 2D, you don't have to draw, like, the inside of the hair, the inside of clothing. You have to draw a little bit extra of everything that moves around. I don't really have a good way to show it on this model because, well, it's simple and there's not a lot of overlapping parts. But more complex models with overlapping parts, you not only have to draw what you would see from this position, where I block my camera off and at a standstill, but also when it's moving around and you have to deal with. Actually, no, I can demonstrate, because when I'm looking straight on, you wouldn't have to draw whatever's behind my eyes and mouth. But because I'm moving and every part of it moves, you have to draw what's behind it, which you don't have to do normally for 2D still images. And likewise, 3D animation is a whole... kitchen bridge. It's a whole nother thing. 3D animation. I saw a video you find really interesting thing. It's about the history of fonts. Oh, that would be so cool. Because I know a little bit of how that relates to computer design. Because the whole reason that Apple exists, and essentially the modern GUI, is because Bill Gates, or honestly probably the other guy, Steve Wozniak? No, it was Gates. I do remember that much. Was super into fonts, or not fonts, calligraphy. So he wanted a computer, because largely before Macintosh, actually just the Macintosh, that's what it's called back. Yeah, Steve Jobs. Damn it. I got them a little bit confused. Thanks for reminding me who did what. But yeah, Steve Jobs was super into calligraphy. And he wanted to make a computer that not only worked well and was fast and had good internal specs, which is what IBM and Windows, well, not Windows, just IBM at that point was doing. He also wanted one that looked good and incorporated different fonts, had windowed graphical displays instead of just a monochrome green blinking terminal. And with that design requirement in mind, is essentially the reason that modern computers have a lot of graphical quirks, because people like that. The Macintosh sold well, and then Windows existed, and as the name implied, the whole point of Windows as an operating system... Now, I think I got it a little wrong. I think Apple and Mac OS was a response of a more beautiful Windows. Because Windows' big thing was that there's Windows. As it implies, is just that it had a GUI. An ugly one, an awful one. How many people would still argue that it's awful now? We are in the bedroom. But Windows nevertheless. And Apple went the extra mile and said, okay, what if it looked good too? What if that was a thing? Oh. Ah, hell yeah. Oh! Looks like you can use this to climb up. And, yeah, really, Steve Jobs' obsession with calligraphy is where so many fonts started from. But yeah, onto the rant of 3D animation. Which is a whole thing. 'Cause you can learn what... Oh. Kelly got mad I skipped through his spiel again. Sorry. Are you okay? That's happened 3 times. There is so much math. So much math involved in 3D animation. And fortunately, because of how computers work, trying to do one of the biggest questions that stumped the entire class when I studied 3D animation in college was, how do you draw a line? Because at that point, we were just saying, assume you are able and have an algorithm. Okay, this section must have stumped playtesters so much for this much signposting and hand-holding, but it's still kind of fun. But that question was asked on the last day of class, and took the entire class to both in time and manpower to figure out the answer, and working through an algorithm to draw a straight line on the screen. Can I get over here, please? Yes! Because before that point, we were just told, oh yeah, you can just assume you can draw a triangle on the screen, or a polygon, or a line. And we had enough problems with that. Because you need to do intersection tests, you have to draw polygons, you have to do backface culling, a whole lot of other things that I no longer remember. And this is just for without color. There's the illumination models and different ways to do that. And not even styles, like not even like cell style animation versus photorealistic or anything like that. This is just pure, will it look blocky? Will it look smooth? Will it look smoothest? The first thing that you have to be willing to do with 3D animation, I don't want to get too much into it because I will admit, I haven't studied it extensively. I've only done one class a while ago. And did okay. But the point is that the biggest problem that we had a whole lot of issues figuring out how to do something with the assumption that the low-level stuff of drawing a line and polygon were just given. Oh, didn't have to do that at all. And then we went lower. The 3D animation as a whole really only works because everything involving computers, ever since the first ones were really tested in the 1940s with like the big building size Enigma code breakers, has been about, we've been able to do this. Let's automate that process. Oh, I thought there was a frog ring up there. I am in trouble. This is not good. Can we make it to that plug? Oh, we should be able to, hopefully. Yeah, you start with adding 2 numbers together. You abstract that into multiplication. Extract that into more complex operations, addressing memory, and everything that's a pain in the butt, you make simpler, and eventually, you're able to make something like this, even after... Oh, there's nothing over there. We got that open, which is nice. Which still takes years of work to make a fully fledged game like this. And also the reason that someone with limited understanding of like the low-level stuff that I learned and was concerned with is able to do absolutely amazing renders in Blender is because of that abstraction. It's a fascinating thing. Nope, I do not. Right. Yeah, get the copper off this section. Nope. Ah! We won't fail you this time, Sarge. I'd love to study back up on and learn a little bit more about that. Because it's a fascinating thing, but the problem is the sheer amount of linear algebra, which I was not good at. Because I do remember enough for a simple intersection test, which is... actually, no, I don't remember intersection tests. Those are involve so much math. But I do remember backface color, which is essentially when you're making a 3D scene, you're throwing polygons in, and the computer doesn't know what order to draw them on. So you have to tell it, not hurt the animals, and all the enemy forces. Sir Sarge. Animal. Soldier. To the drop point. Do this. But they do have, each polygon has a Z value that the computer doesn't know what to do with. Well, rather, it does. 1 minute 38. Passed! Hell yeah. It does draw them, like, front to back, where the ones closer to the camera are drawn over the ones in the back. Waterfall training. Hell yeah. The problem is, it draws every single one of them. It does not distinguish. Nope, I need to charge first. Gotta have faith in yourself, soldier. So you end up with weird things if you're moving a 3D model without backface culling. You lose all perspective, because the moment a face is closer, it'll draw that entire face, which will immediately overlap and make it seem like if you're rotating a box without a top, that it goes from, oh, you're looking into the opening, to, oh, no, I'm looking at the backside. It's tricky as hell. And the way you do that is you do a linear algebra test where you compute the surface normal, which is computed by taking the points in clockwise order, which the more complex thing that I don't remember how to recall or calculate is using the right hand rule, where you go from point A, B, C, and from a right-handed view, if you curl your hand and the thumb is the direction the thumb is pointing dictates whether it's facing away or to the camera. It's something that I'd love to talk about more in detail and with more. It's something you need a concrete example in front of you, and I have probably set every single person who is still in chat through that entire rant's head spinning. The point that is how you do something as simple as not making your models a horribly complex mess. And dang it. Okay. 3D. Here's the thing. I don't actually know how to do 3D modeling. I know the theory behind programming. Like, I don't know much of Blender. that is not a tool that I'm confident enough to say I know how to use it. I know I know how to make something like Blender, and how to make something like a predefined simple render look good, and why it looks good. Like, essentially, if you told me to make something with realistic light, a sphere with realistic lighting, I know the math behind that sphere. I understand the math behind that sphere. I know how to apply the Phong illumination model. I know how to do flat. I know how to do Garan shading. I don't know how to make how to use those programs. I finished all the training. Theoretical. I actually might do that. That could be cool. Done with training for the day. Hell yeah. Oh, to the basement, I guess. Because I could go through, like, the why 3D models work. Hell, I should talk to to somebody who did their own 3D model and see, like, hey, what would knowing why this stuff works, like, if you knew how like Garan shading works, which is you calculate a surface normal, which is essentially that whole right-hand rule stuff, the vector going off of the face that is the average direction of the surface. So if you have a curved surface, actually no, I'm getting ahead of myself. If you have at one point, you're able to calculate what the direction perpendicular from that flat 2D surface is. And then ground shading takes all of those, every polygon's surface normal, and interpolates them, which essentially means it takes the average and takes the average at every corner of the polygon, and then says, okay, to get from this average here to this average there, how does the average need to change? Like, would that be useful? Or, oh, there's actually jack to do down here. I don't know, I just think it'd be interesting to see if I could take, like, my knowledge of the back end of Blender, or Unity, or one of the many modeling systems that exists, and see if that could help people who are, like, trying to set up a Vroid model, or doing their own stuff in Blender. Could be cool. But I am getting too far in the weeds, and this is a night that I can't even keep my own head straight about it. God. Oh. Actually, the next, like, thing to do is in the backyard. Ooh, another nubbin. Okay, there we go. You shouldn't be slacking off. What happens if I keep sitting here? Oh, but I'm sure there are times when you just need to take a breather. Oh, so how about this? Hey, check it out. Do you ever notice I have no mouth? Goodbye. Oh, I love Telly. Gave you 20 magic points. Right, because there's... Almost forgot about it. There's these stickers that if you do certain things and essentially complete sub-stories, or interact with the weirdos who call... Wait, how do I do that? I just pulled out... I might have to recheck the VOD to see how I just pulled out of nowhere the last item I used, because that could be pretty handy. I suppose the other thing is I just wish I had more time. There's so many things that I want to either brush up on that was really cool to learn in college that I never really used. Like, all the graphics stuff. Right, I also keep on forgetting that I do technically have a project in Godot, a game engine that I've kind of been neglecting to work on because I've got super busy, forgot about it, and never got back to it. Hello, frog. Ribbit. Freda just gave you 7 happy points. For the happiness. Let's give you some more. Ribbit! Ribbit! Hell yeah. Nice work. Very good. How's the best game is going so well. We have just made contact with the frog. Although everyone check out our guy. Their streams are super fun and such a welcome community. So, the frog seems to be saying something, but I don't understand the strange language. Ribbit! We're just talking a lot of theories, game design, and just how fun these characters are. Because, yeah, the frogs have a story arc. We can talk to frogs now. Boyfriend's lost in the house and tired of waiting around. Hey, you're one of us. You can speak Ribbitese, too. Cool, huh? Isn't it just the greatest? Ribbit. Yeah, I hope you're doing well. I had a good day, and I know you just got done with the stream soon, so if you have to just lurk or check in and run, like, by all means. Always good to see you around. Communicate, I have to ask you a favor. Could you please find my lost boyfriend? He's probably collapsed somewhere all alone without even a fly to eat. If you find him, I want you to bring him here. Count on you, Herbert. Now, we could do that, but I'm pretty sure this also just lets you speak to any animal. Which, there's a bird up in the tree, but first things first, we must probe the mind of the dog to learn the darkest secrets. And also, if I did super boils, I'd do a nice little hop. Ah, this game's so cute. To the kitchen. Just goes to show, if you feel like there's a weird push to, like, everything has to be sane and logical for whatever reason in games, but if you do the pre-work and just prime your audience with all the weirdness they can muster, you can get them to have anything, and it's so fun. Oh, I cannot talk to the dog with this suit. That's a shame. We need to find alternative clothes to communicate and probe the thoughts of dog. Wait, I just realized something. Citrasoft, the company that made Chibi-Robo, made robots that could communicate with animals which are evidently fully sentient, just content to not do much of anything. And told no one. Or, actually, wait, no. They didn't. They made robots with the potential to talk to animals, but these aren't official suits. The frog suit was made by frogs, somehow. And the other suit that lets you talk to animals, the Tau suit, was made by the Free Rangers. So I guess the potential exists. It's just that humans have not discovered it. Oh god, I love this weird game. Yes, more scrap. Oh, be gone. What was that skid? Got some distance though. No, I suppose we don't. Hang on, it's not. It's just never enough time in the day. Okay, have you ever gotten to the point where you are trying to form a thought, but it's just nothing is happening? Because I know there's things to be said about things. I do not know what those things are, however. So here we sit. Never enough time in the day. Yeah. Well, the big problem with that is that, for whatever reason, the world seems absolutely dedicated to making you spend it on stupid things. Like work. Or other necessary tasks. What's wrong, Chibi-Robo? What's that? Let's go have a closer look. Sound design is so good. Looks like a frog, but horrible. You could have done such a thing. You think it could have been Tau? No. No, look at the body. This doesn't match his MO. Already done plenty of food and bones and stuff. And who could have... Oh my god. It's Ricky. Something's over there. Huh? Wait a minute. There really was something over there. I'm gonna go take a look. Nope, Telly. That's how people die in horror movies. Chibi-Robo, you're still here? Frisia. Frisia. Frisia! Oh no. Boss fight time. Walkosaurus Rex. Oh my god, look at the size of that thing! Poor frog got booted. Chibi-Robo! Goodbye! Just left me here to die. How dare you? My teeth! They're made of metal! Goodness gracious. I can't be running around without my teeth. Ain't black. Hold on there, you old varmint. I need my teeth. Dynamite. Hey, whippersnapper, give me my teeth. There are no words for how much I love this Blockosaurus Rex. Thanks, Junior. This ain't much, but go on, take it. I love Dinah so much. Okay, Boomer. This old fossil. Oh god, it works on so many different levels because they're a T-Rex toy, but they're also made of like Duplo, like a really young kid's toy. They're a fossil in so many levels. Mistook you for one of them dang frogs. What do you expect? My eyes are going and you was dressed all in green. I guess it was fate that brought us together. Stop by if you need anything here. Bye now. Characters get weirder and weirder as the game goes on. Okay, once again, poor proper planning means I have to deal with something quick. Be back in a sec. I need a dedicated BRB screen for this, but until then.
What? More than often? All right. What's your address?
Hello, Mr. Smith. Did you release the second bond issue in December? Yeah. All right. The cat did what, Mrs. Harris? Really? All right. Okay.
Listen, Mark. Some crazy stunt man is going to try taking off in an airplane from the top of an automobile this afternoon out in the valley. Sounds like a story.
Hold it, Jack. Take off from an automobile on a dirt road. Can he make it?
Well,
Be a good picture either way.
You know, I think the lie that I tell myself over and over is that one day I'll make smart decisions. Because, let's be honest, part of the fun in life is that I never seem to learn. What happened? I've gotta get back to Frigid on the double. Will you take me to the backyard. Oh yeah. Really? Truly? Well, I'm counting on you. Get in my head. No time to lose. Oh. Great work out there. Let's adjust your happy point total. Yeah, because you'd think after doing it multiple times and it never working at all, I would eventually learn that energy drinks and caffeine are really more trouble than they're worth. Ooh, 200. We have so much range now. And they're really... We've almost doubled our happy point total this game. That is... Ow. Yeah. We're just shooting up in the ranks. Damn. Like, that is... I know caffeine, everyone... It's one of those things that everyone thinks affects people more or less the same. But... maybe it's the ADHD. Because I've heard that that's something that it just... caffeine doesn't really work on you. Huh? Oh god, I'm about to flip every fuse in this chibi house. Hell, I might flip every fuse in the house with this. Every circuit breaker, blow every fuse. More! But it's like, I might actually end stream a little early because I just kind of feel a little bit like a hollow buzzing instead of anything else to have any energy. Ah, well, it's a mistake you only make 14 times. Especially funny because especially through college, it's the one thing I've always just ignored. Like, I will gladly grab an energy drink and think, this helps, and just be worse off for it. It does kind of give me energy, but it also... it's like... deeply energizing, but on the surface level that I feel it doesn't really help. Kind of like, yes, my muscles have energy, my bones do not, sort of thing, I assume. I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's another symptom of I will always follow my own advice. I'll always give advice. I will never follow anyone else's. Oh, right, I have a frog in my head. I should go deal with that. Now, one thing at a time. Oh, that has to do with it. The fish give a lot. More important is we have another pull on the Giga Charger. Shoot, the flowers! I've been neglecting the flowers! I'm sorry! Actually, I think they're growing pretty good. A new experiment. I am... Ooh! I know how to use the bridge. First things first, there's loot on that table. Push the edge first. Sorry, Chibi. Okay, we'll come back to the table loop. The one thing that I have so many ideas in my head. A lot of things that are on the grounds of do not talk about this. Wait until it is proper time. You must do more prep work before just announcing there is a thing that will be done. Biggest struggle. A lot of ideas have to at least remember to not say, oh, I'm planning on doing this. Like I did with lore audio, which, first of all, the lore has changed beforehand, and I'd still love to do it. It's just that there's so much more prep work, and I can't just off the cuff say, hey, I have an idea. We're doing this now, because it just might not get done. Hello, Frog. Tell me your secrets. Partner Ribbit. Partner Ribbit. Oh. How long is that loser boyfriend of mine gonna keep me waiting, Ribbit? Honestly. Hey, got your loser right here. Oh. Drama. Frog drama. Drama. You're alive. Got yourself into a mess. Afraid you. Done for. God, being bit by a Lego sounds awful. It's like stepping on one, but on both sides, and pressure. What did I tell you? That house is dangerous. Got hurt because you didn't listen to me, as usual. Don't talk so loudly, or my head still hurts. You don't know what pain is, my friend, but you're gonna find out pretty soon. What? Maybe I was better off as a dinosaur snack. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Sorry if I caused you any trouble. See you later. Oh, 66. Hell yeah. Help me. Just wait for what's in store for you. Oh, amazing. Ooh, white block and door. Definitely got a chibi door on the back side. Just because a little bit of water is a useful thing. Yeah. I think that's... After you get down, like, the basics of content creation, that's one of the hardest things. Pacing and realistic expectations. Of just being able to say, I'm going to do some pre-work and announce this while it's in a semi-finished state, instead of just announcing it and then, oh my... What? That should have hurt a lot. Did I just discover a glitch? Did I just discover a speedrunning strat? Simple trick to get from top of a drop to the bottom in no time flat. Shit you discover. It really is amazing. I guess if you slide, then... Meh. Sorry, Spider. Oh, actually, I know I am definitely in the minority for this, but spiders, I wouldn't call them cute, but I don't think they're as horrifying as, like, non-arachnophobes. Because I can get arachnophobes. Like, that is just... That's a phobia. Nothing to be done for that.
Sleep noises.
Deep sleep doesn't move. It can't get to the other side. Sorry, my dude. Yeah. Hex, overslept. Chirp. Whew, look at the time. I almost missed my date. Polly will peck my eyes out if I'm late. Last time she plucked all my feathers and goosebumps for a week. Wake me up. I hate to say it, my dude, but are you safe? It sounds like an abusive relationship. I don't know why, but you seem grateful. Oh, way to go, Chibi-Robo. Okay, get... Oh, shoot. We're gonna have to come back up here, because the white block's more important. And I'm not sure I have it. Oh! See, that's what I was expecting from when we fell off the tree. Because now it is very much up in the air whether or not I'm going to have enough. The game's really good at getting you stressed out about the battery. Like, every time it's gone right, I'm like, will I not? Can I get there? But in reality, it's like, okay, after 5 steps, I can figure out about how much this is going to drain, and I'm fine. It'll be perfectly fine. Whew, that's very close. Was close. I'm tempted to get the Chibi battery. That's been fine so far. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be perfectly alright. We don't need no stinking battery. And now that I've been playing it and gotten a bit more in the story, I kind of realized that what I've considered the main story is really just the most obvious side ones. Because, like, Captain Plankbeard, not actually necessary. The Free Rangers, not necessary. Anything with Tao, Sophie, or Drake Redcrest, you don't need it. You also only really need to go into Jenny's room for the squirter, and that's all the plot relevant stuff in there. Oh, hey, yeah. Oh, you again. Stomach's empty. I'm starving. Got anything for me? Hey, do I not have any cookie crumbs? We lost our chance to get all the loot up there. Pain. Pure pain. But, like, the only... If you define required as moves along the main plot, or gets you to the credits, The only sub-story you actually have to deal with, or what is the main story, is the Sandersons. Which, admittedly, I'm blanking right now on how to trigger. I think we just have to talk to Miss Sanderson and Mr. Sanderson enough, as well as maybe there's something about getting the Giga Charger to a certain level. Also, it's been like a couple of weeks since we started. A couple of in-game weeks. The sheer back on Mr. Sanderson, because it is horribly uncomfortable to sleep on a couch, no matter how comfy the couch. Like, I think I have a pretty comfy couch. I do not want to sleep on it. Yeah, it's the entire game. I could have probably beat it in a single stream if I focused on triggering and causing the main story. Like, the strength of it is in every single one of the sub-stories. Like, it took the idea of, okay, we're going to have side content, and we're going to have a good amount of it. And it's going to be interesting. And that is arguably... I'd argue that there's no post-game in this game at all. That it's all... anything you can do after the story is just as much main game as everything else. Because it's really character-driven, and when you... the game's over when you run out of character plots to resolve. What are we going to do? These bills are piling up. How about that? The electric bill is skyrocketed. He's just hopeless. Oh yeah, the electric bill might be our fault. Because, yeah, this. Although on the subject of this game not really having a post-game, because it's pretty much... the game ends when you're done, when you feel like you've completed your silly little tasks enough. And there's not really much of anything left for you personally. Hello! Hi there, Chiba. How do you get in here? Do you come to check on me because you're worried? Yes. Thank you, Chiba. I just gave you 50. Aww. 150. Okay. Oh, I bet Jenny or Dad asked you to check up on me. Well, since you're here, do you mind keeping me company? I'm balancing our checkbook, but something just doesn't add up. I'm exhausted. I wonder if there's a toy receipt I'm missing. Bet he's hiding one somewhere. I asked him about it earlier, and he said, "Don't worry, you have all of them." Ha! When it comes to toys, I don't know if I can trust him to have any self-control. Oh, hey, can you do me a favor, Chiba? See if you can find a hidden toy receipt. Find one, bring it back to me. If you do, my husband will have some explaining to do. Yikes! Oh, he found the next pop hook. Ooh. We've also found a whole lot of things. Also, the subtle implication here that she'll be more mad of finding an extra toy receipt. Not mad at all about Chibi-Robo being too expensive or... Ooh. Won't open if you don't know the correct password. Hey, Captain Plankbeard mentioned something about Giga-Robo's leg being in a queer sort of treasure chest typed with a handle. Oh? Let me out! Let me out! Prison can't trap me forever! So I think we found it. But yeah, that she's not mad about, like, Chibi-Robo and us doing things, but is more upset about anything after that. And more, of course, the whole fact that he hid that purchase from her, which is a huge breach of trust. But she's kind of accepted that... Ooh, what's that funky looking dude back there? That we're kind of worth the budget line. Can't. Especially because it's a pretty obvious power draw. It's kind of obvious that we'd be the ones causing such a skyrocket in power costs. Which, is what it is. Oh, ticket stub. Can I get there? Oh. Yeah, I can get to that ticket stub. Wait. Holy jackpot! What do we have here? The horrific mort of love story. Aww. Wait. Well, it has Mort's face on it. Let's go give it to him. Fortunately, I don't think we have enough time in the night to get the toy receipt. Yeah, I think the way things are going, that will be a little bit shorter. Partially because we did just find, like, the impetus for the story about to get really juicy. And I kind of feel like we have... Oh, shoot. Actually, I think we have, like, 2 streams left of this, if I'm estimating correctly, which... Who knows? Probably not. Hopefully not, because I'd love to continue playing this. Oh, there's another... Bang. But I think we can do a little bit more continuation of... Oh, and Jenny's still in the hall. Feel bad for her. Of Mort's side story. And I should really pass out. Too much to do, and too little time and energy to do it with. I don't know. Sometimes you just have to keep on going. Oh, 25 happy points. What's this? It's a toy telephone. You might be able to talk to someone, though. Oh, the nectar flower we planted bloomed. Or is growing. I feel you, Mort. I feel you. Hey, all the stickers on there came back. Dang it. Ah. Hey, Mort, buddy. This is an experiment. I'm definitely not watering anything in that planner. Just see if it solves itself. Hero and a princess. Time-worn cliche, isn't it? Yes, we all know that story, don't we? I'm sure Princess Pitts would rather have worked with fresh flowers this time instead of my withered stems. Whenever I touch a flower, it dies. If a nectar flower were to bloom here, Princess Pitts would be very happy. Oh, it's going. There's so... Oh, sorry. Oh, I thought I hit... Sorry. We're a hero, brave fighter of fires. Fortunately, I was not... I was not on fire. There's... close enough. There's so many things that... And I'm really curious about how, like, widespread this is. Because I know I had so many superstitions about games and stuff growing up. Like, I was one of those people who tried to time pressing B and the correct input on the D-pad in time to the Pokeball and Pokemon Yellow. I'm pretty sure that you have to water the flowers in Chibi-Robo to get them to grow is another one of those superstitions that not actually in the game, but the mechanics were not explained enough in order to dissuade me from doing it. Who's been bringing me flowers? Must be a secret admirer. Sure, he's just a wonderful person. Oh. He is. I'm curious just how many variations of these, like, superstitions exist. So I'm sure everyone has their own that are hyper-specific to, like, the games that they played and either misread the mechanics or weren't told what they were. As well as things that seem to actually or logically be mechanics. Maybe both. Oh. Alright, let's get this totaled up. That's 330. If you're ever going to be Super Chibi-Robo, you'll need some advice. Namely mine. To pull and push objects, I suggest you hold down A to grab them. Thank you, Deli. Yes. And there we go. I think just from the fact that I can feel it. I think this is going to be where we're going to call it. Let's see. Dang. Oh, thank you so much. Glad you glad everyone came around and chatted. It was so much fun. And I already know who we're going to raid because it has been so long and I've been trying to make an effort to show up myself and I have not been able to, so you're all being brought along because my face is on the channel. Ah! Dang it! I can't! I was trying to raid proper, but... I think she checked... Proper did all the emotes on my channel, and she's so cool, but I just, for schedule, and reasons and other things, haven't been able to catch one of her streams. But I think, unfortunately, I like doing the official raid. Because who knows who else is lurking. And I do make a point to raid out every time just to help people see, like, oh, here's a cool person, or oh, here's someone that didn't know about. So, I guess instead, just to raid someone, we'll raid Lost Sailor at Sea, who's also super cool, and it's doing a game that she knows very well called White Day, which is a bit of a horror game, but still a fun game. So yeah, thank y'all for coming, and see you later. Bye.
If Jerry's there, it's not the end of the world, but it definitely hinders a couple things, which kind of sucks. But Bread! Hi, Bread!